So this is the first one I did, and this is my dancer. And I'm not sure why it dances. This one might be a dancer. Oops, that one might be. This one is one of my first ones, and it spins for a long time. And this one, oops, hit the stove. Come back here. You can edit all of this part. This guy's got such a short piece that it's hard to get going, but once you do, it goes pretty good. This one is Purple Heart, and it's kind of thick through here, so it doesn't spin as good. Thanks. Maniac. That's my ballerina. This one. This one's pretty good. This one is resin. Cuts really fast. We can have wars. See, and this one is nice and thick, so it spins for a long time. Make some space here. And I don't know, I tried to make that one look fancy by putting different pieces of wood in it. Oh, I gotta get this guy to go. There he goes. There goes the dancer. See that one? I spliced the wood, glued it up in different pieces. So, but it's kind of, I tried to make it like a dress, but it's a little heavy or thick. And this one is just plain. It doesn't have any pattern on it, but it's pretty wood. Nice and shiny. What is that? That one looks like it could do with some oil and make it shiny. So the trick is that you got to make two so that you can see how long you can have contests and see how long you can keep your spinner up. But if you're the one that made it, you'll eventually figure out which one is going to stay up the longest anyway. This one stays up a long time. And this one, as I got into the wood, turned out it had cracks in the wood, but I just made it round and it still spins. That's Aubrey's favorite one, the ballerina. But it doesn't dance very long. I've made lots more than this, but I gave most of them away. So this piece is just to hold the check, and it is, I centered it, put some centering lines on, and then I used hot glue to attach that. And now I'm going to center up these lines, and hopefully the plan is that I can follow these lines that are extending, and that should match. But before I do that, I'm going to, and this glue doesn't come out very good, so I'm just going to unscrew it and squeeze some out and just spread it around. And this is just cheap paper towel. Put a bit more on. Put another piece on. Glue. So I have 2 layers of paper. It's going to all squeeze in between. I might want a little bit more glue. All right, then I'm going to line these up. Would be nice if it had just one, because I'm going to have to eyeball it a little bit and hope that that is lined up good. All right, so the scrap pieces are because I'm going to have to cut into this piece a little bit in order so that so I don't waste this wood. So the end of my cutting is going to be halfway between here, and the narrowest piece of the spinning top is going to be some close to there. All right, so look at that, wiggled all over the place on me. So I'm going to put some glue on this part, and then I'm going to have to. So this piece, I just cut it square. It's about 2 inches tall, and then I cut my corners off, and then I rounded them a little bit on the belt sander, just so I don't have to do all of that. Paper towel. It might be better to do these, this piece and then put the second piece on. But, okay, now I'm going to line up. First, before I try and do that, I'm going to get this glue off my fingers. Okay, so let's line those up. My paper towel is sticking out the edge. Hang on one second. Just grabbing some scissors. Just cut the edges off of this. So that I can see the lines. All right, so I'm going to line up the top. That doesn't line up. That looks pretty good. There's so many lines that. All right. Okay, so I'm lined up on there. Then I'm going to have to go back in and all right, we're going to leave that overnight so we can play with this tomorrow. That's why I did both pieces together at the same time, because we only have tomorrow to cut. There we go. This piece, I could have done both, but I didn't have a piece wide enough to cover the whole chuck. So that's why I put that extra scrap of alder in the bottom and then a little piece of 2x4. And then this is walnut. Been drying overnight. Ready to clunk. Hopefully it's lined up good. And it'll just cut. So we'll take it over here. All right, now the thing that you have to do, remember when you're going to make a spinning top, this is my reminder to do this step, is we have to change the direction. Because if you're coming in from this side with your blade, you can do the point, you can get this section here, but when you come in to do this section, this blade is not going to go far enough over without banging into this. This one is slightly off balance, that's why it's out here, but because I moved this during the process. So the thing that you can put your pattern and design, but it has to be the same all the way around. And the wider you can get this piece, and the thinner you can get this, the longer it will spin.
And give a spin.
Well, this one's not a great spinner. Okay, so I'm going to first actually the first thing I'm going to do, when I put this on last time, I think I got it slightly off. Handle. That should be good enough. It doesn't have to go completely. We can try it going straight in though, I guess. See how it is. Clean that up. Actually, I've taken that up, but what I need to do come out a bit more. All right, so if you can see from this side, then see the blade is lower. I've got to line it up with that point. So undo it again and bring this up. And this is how this works on this machine. There are other machines that it works differently on. You can have some different methods of lining them up. But this one is not quite as precision. Oh, I'm going to take it down just a hair. Pretty good. All right, now I'm going to come back away and bring this out a little bit farther because I'm going to come in from this side. Okay, now I'm going to ready for the noise? So I just got my point, but I left this lip here so that I can come in and put a design on this afterwards. So I'm going to come and start working on this side, and I also need to round this out completely. But so I'm going to do all the round work first, and then I can change this cam to a pattern one, which I'm going to use this guy on it. So I'll swap that out afterwards, but I want to get all the round part. And one of the things that you want to make sure is that you finish the whole project. You don't want to take this off and then try and get it back on. Sometimes you can do it when you're still on the round, but once you get a pattern off, you can't line it up again if you take that off. So
What's with the X?
the X is so that as it's going around, then when I see the X come up again, then I move this in because it'll have gone fully around. And then as I go in, then I can take more off.
So having the blade spinning in that direction, is that going to, when you're cutting in here, want to push away and detach the
Yes.
piece?
Yes, that is definitely, you have to come in straight, and you can't get it down to the final tip until you're almost finished. You got all your pattern and everything, because if you make it really you get down to your point, the narrowest part in there, and then you try and come in and do this pattern, it'll just pop it right off. So you got to leave that fairly thick. Get your round part in.
So you don't do the
pattern.
You don't do the handle.
Yeah, you do
until the
part of
end.
it. You do part of it because you have to have enough space in order to get your blade in there to get your pattern on. And then you come back to the round and do the final.
Okay.
Yes, because it will push it right off. Okay, and then you'll see as I'm coming in and rounding this out why I have this scrap piece in here, because you do have to get round thin. And if you you'd have to just waste some of this nice maple, so you're not going to do that. Okay.
Is that maple or walnut?
Sorry, it is walnut. Yeah, the last piece I had was a brown maple. This is walnut.
So what have we done now?
I'm going to change the cam and start putting some pattern in. And then we'll just continue on with, probably we might want to pause and vacuum some of this mess up. So the main reason I vacuumed was to make sure that there wasn't bits of sawdust and stuff getting in the spring and clogging up this. So I like to keep this little tiny wheel right here clear, so that right there, this is going to come in, and we don't want any sawdust bumping against in there and making it not smooth. Okay, so I'm going to change the cam here. And that'll slide out of the way. Don't escape. I put them in, and I don't tighten them all the way until I got them all three partially in. And take this one off.
Now what are we doing?
Now I'm going to switch back to the round.
Why are we going back to the round?
Because I'm ready to just, the top is done other than narrowing it down. And we're also going to lose, so all of this, you might want to look at it because it's going away. So we're going to take it in to about there. It'll just be rounded. And then you'll see another pattern that'll come down here and be a scallop. Pops off before I had to cut it. But that's how close it was to popping off. So when you're coming in and you get your shape, and then see, and then I carved into this wood so that I didn't have to be carving into this harder wood for a long time. So now I'm going to over here. And I gotta take this off. So I'm gonna get most of it, and then I'm gonna use a Dremel tool and go around there. Okay, and then I'm going to rub it down, put some oil on it. Actually, I'm going to wipe it off with this tack off first. And then wipe that off with the pencil. This is just some wax. Put on here. So you want to get in all the little cracks. All right. might move. There it goes. This is kind of not very smooth. If you put it on the counter on the marble, it would